Delegates at the Third African Information and Communication Technology Forum are calling for global collaboration to prevent Africa from becoming the weakest link in the cybersecurity chain. Khalil has the story.
With the introduction of broadband, information technology is spreading at a tremendous rate today in Africa. Over the last 4 years, 600 million of the world's nearly 800 million new internet users live in the developing countries. That is not without risks or threats for the African continent, which lacks a strong legal framework against cybercrime, according to the International Telecommunication Union's Amadou Touré.
As you know, in the cybersecurity, we are always as strong as the weakest link. We are in a connected world, and the criminal can be anywhere. Cybercrime knows no borders. We need to be organized. There are technical problems that can be solved. Technology is always ahead of us. We need to make sure that every country put in place a national legal and regulatory framework so that we can criminalize crime.
Mr. Touré was among the more than 300 participants from 55 countries who gathered in Burkina Faso to discuss online threats to national security, infrastructure, or public services. The conference was sponsored by the government of Burkina Faso and presided over by Blaise Compaoré, President of Burkina Faso. At the opening ceremony, Cheikh Modibo Diarra, Africa chairman for Microsoft, said that millions of types of malware have infested the online world and the risk is growing.
As internet penetration in Africa increases and companies, individuals and government employ ever more elaborate and global solutions for storing and transferring their data, so too does the increased risk of cybercrime.
Impact is a global cyber threat response center of the International Telecommunication Union, launched 2 years ago in Kuala Lumpur. According to Impact, Africa needs the help of the rest of the world to prevent Africa from becoming a base for online crime.
Cybersecurity is a global phenomenon. It has only to be tackled by global solutions. And therefore, we are very much happy to see that African countries, leaders of the continent, are taking cybersecurity as a serious threat. It requires an international collaboration. It requires local and national regulation and local legislation. It will require coordination among nations and coordination between private sector and public sector as well.
President Compaoré is one of Africa's strongest supporters of information technology. Faced with organized increased cyber attacks against most of Africa's government, public and private structures, he says this.
We need partnerships in the mutual interests of all parties to face all the threats of cybercrime. That is why we wish the organization of an international summit where concrete measures are taken to address cybercrime, as has been done for other critical issues like disarmament of weapons of mass destruction and nuclear arms.
Khalil for VOA News, Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso.